Hello party people, this is Jeremy from Jambalaya Plays Games. I'm here with John for ODAM Publishing talking about The Shared Dream, which was on Kickstarter. It's out here. This is a cooperative game. Just lay it out for us, man. I'm ready. I'm really excited about covering this one.
All right, man. Thanks for having me. Yes, I am John from ODAM Publishing. I was one of the developers for The Shared Dream.
Okay.
And let me give you the basic rundown of what the game is all about.
Okay.
It is purely cooperative.
Yes.
There's no competitive action, so those peaceful households and gaming groups can rejoice.
Yes.
Basically, everybody assumes the role of a person who has awoken from a shared dream. And that dream, unfortunately, had some nightmarish components.
Okay.
So we're all going to wake up from this bad dream, and we're going to find that the bad dream has real stuff going wrong in the real world.
Okay.
And then we're going to go back and we're going to use those dream identities, things like the one we have right here,
okay.
Jeremy Holt and his Lightbringer.
Okay.
And we're going to use that dream identity to kick butt, take names, and make sure that the nightmare goes back where it belongs.
Oh, okay.
Now, the important part about that is that it's going to be a very story-driven game. Each scenario, like the one that I have out there right now, which is our sample version, is the Beast at the Door. That's going to dictate what nightmare we woke up from, what we have to do to win, what we have to worry about that might cost us to lose. That's the basic rub of how the game works.
All right, and then just talk about like through a round or actions that happen and the tiles and stuff like that.
Okay, so yeah, basically the scenario card's going to tell you how you should set up.
Okay.
And some of that is locked in by the scenario.
Okay.
Some of it is randomized. The idea there is to keep the story components as a one-time thing, but the strategy side of it always engaging.
Okay, always engaging.
And so you might set up Beast of the Door and find that you have a location like the police station in one spot. You might find the next time you play that something else is taking that very same spot. And that's important because it's going to dictate how the game progresses, what you have access to, what abilities, what strategies you might lay out. For example, Beast of the Door might see two key locations on opposite sides of the city.
Okay.
That's impacting if you're playing a character that's very slow or one that's very fast.
Okay.
And those are all things we want you to consider each and every time you play so that you're always engaged and dialed in rather than bored because you know how the page or story
you know exactly
goes.
how the scenario goes every time. Right. Okay.
Now, what players are going to do is when they play and they have this character, their main resource management conflict comes from conviction and nightmare. Conviction is the fuel that they use to access their dream identities.
Okay.
That's what is going to give them their power, essentially. Okay. But when they use that said resource, it turns into nightmare. So it's a very big, so very big.
That's where the choice comes. Okay.
Big decision. Is the juice worth the squeeze, I always say. Am I going to spend some conviction and turn it into nightmare now and potentially create a bigger problem later? Or am I going to just let it ride and try and get through until we get to the very end?
I like that risk. I like that little risk management there.
Yeah, and then of course, the more nightmare you create, the more enemies you might spawn on the board, like this bad Reaver right here, this Torment Reaver. And they all get their cute little miniatures to represent them, so you can inspire
everybody
fear.
Loves miniatures, man. They love that miniature.
Exactly, and then the painters of them, awesome. So that's a little bit of the overview of what's going on, and hopefully we've done a very good job of letting everybody know that every scenario is never going to get stale. Every time you play it, it's going to be a little different and compelling, unlike reading a simple story and knowing how it goes here.
The same turn, page turn.
Exactly. I mean, I've played Beast of the Door many times myself. I'm still curious whether or not I'm going to win every time I set it up.
That's awesome. So how many missions are in there? How many experiences are in there, I should say? It seems like that. How many experiences?
Well, that's pretty much what we wanted, experiences. I mean, if you think about it, the base game has 5 scenarios.
Okay.
Now, there are up to 4 players per scenario, so each player gets dealt what we call a reflection deck, their own little personal quest series, if you will, that tells you what part of the story they're playing.
Okay.
So you could play the same scenario up to 4 times before you've seen all the sides of it. And there are 10 characters in the base game as well. So you got 5 scenarios, 4 quests per actual scenario, and 10 different characters to play as. And I don't know if you know math, but that's a whole bunch of different experiences.
That's wow. And then you have a ton of expansions, like
Yeah, the backers for the campaign were really excited. It went really well. So we tried to add stuff that they were interested in. So each expansion not only adds a new scenario in its own right, but it backpedals into the existing material to allow them to do new and interesting things that'll refresh the old scenarios that they may have already played.
Oh, wow, man.
So there are 4 full expansions that you can add on to it, and
4.
all of them kick
Wow.
back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, 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 wow. So is it you're going to keep going with this one, or you're waiting for like another Kickstarter on this one, or?
Well, here's the deal. The game is selling very well.
Yes.
So the issue here is we're going to run out of games, so we're going to have to address that at some point,
Right.
and that may be the Kickstarter route once again, because it's done very well for us, and it seems to be a very exciting thing for people that are interested in what we do.
Yeah, okay. And just so everybody else knows, you have another Kickstarter that's in the process right now. Is it Age of Kings, or?
Age of Kingdoms, that's right. Loruna Age of Kingdoms was a very different style of game. It's a 4X deep strategy game.
Okay.
But that adaptation of our correlating RPG, that already ran through Kickstarter. The campaign was already funded. It did very well as well, but they're still accepting late pledges for it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the manufacturing is slated to start soon. We're pretty much just getting those last guys that want to
Right.
get on board before it goes to print.
Okay. Wow, wonderful. Thank you for giving us a big scope. Oh, lastly, what is the MSRP on this? Where can they pick it up?
You can pick it up at the cons while we're selling it, and if you're not here to join us, you can also pick it up on the actual website or from a couple of other vendors as well. The base game normally runs $65, but there have been a couple of sales that bring it a little bit in line, like at the cons, and with some of the big distributors, they've included it in some sale packages, so you might be able to scope around and find it a little bit better than that.
Right.
But you can go to our website at odampublishing.com if you want to check any of that out. You'll find us on the usual suspects for social media, and you'll be speaking directly to some of the designers if you reach out to us.
Wow. Wow, that's good to know, man. Very, very personable people. That's great.
We try.
So once again, this is Share a Dream by ODAM Publishing. It was wonderful to go through this overview. Thank you so much for your time. And today, that ends my coverage for Origins 2018, Saturday. I got more coming tomorrow, but today is over.
Hooray!
All right.